This is my first year anniversary for my channel Living Now, my activism channel against the Watchtower. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching my videos, for subscribing to my channel, and for the emails that you are sending me. Some people have been sending me emails, even suggesting some topics that they would like me to talk about. But most of all, thank you for those who are emailing me saying that my videos have helped them in some way. And this is the best thing you can hear when you have a channel like this one, an activism channel against a cult, to hear that you are helping some people that are still in the cult and even people that have recently left the cult. So I want to thank you so much, guys. And also, since I'm still getting the question quite often, why am I still making videos? Why do I even bother making videos? I want to take this opportunity to tell you why I'm still making videos. And I want also to mention a few specific videos where I was invited to participate in, and also my videos that have had the most views so far. To this day, the video that had the most views on my channel, it's my story. I made it first in English. That was my first video, as a matter of fact. And then later on, I made it in French. And for some reason, the French one has even 2 or 3 more thousands views than the English one. Now, why people love so much stories? Well, it's because when you were a member of a cult, such as Jehovah's Witnesses, by watching other people's stories, you are going to recognize yourself. You are going to feel comforted. You are going to feel that you're not alone anymore with this specific problem. And I think that's why stories work so well. As a matter of fact, the first time I ever came online to look for some answers, that's what I wanted. That's the type of answers I wanted. I didn't even know about the dirty secrets of Jehovah's Witnesses still, even though it's recent. But I still didn't know it when I first came online. Where the reason why I did come online is because I wanted to know if someone else on this earth was living what I was living, was going through what I was going through. So that's why stories work so well when, as ex-members of this cult, Jehovah's Witnesses organization, when we tell our story, people love to hear it. That's why if you are an ex-JW and don't even want to make videos, but if you could at least tell your story once, that's all you have to do, you could help a lot of people, because I never believed that my videos could help anyone, but they sure did, and they sure still help people. And I'm sure that my story, the video that talks about my story, is the video that helps people even the most. Now, I want to mention a few videos that are not my videos, but shows and interviews I participated in. And the first one I want to mention is my interview with Lady C from the XJW Critical Thinker. And I was honored to be interviewed by Lady C, and you can find this video on her channel as well as on mine. I was also honored to be part of the Apostate Hour, and you can find this video on the Son of Thunder's channel as well as on mine. And also I was part of the Gonzales group earlier, mid 2016 around, and you can find this video on the JW Crisis channel as well as on mine. And I wanted to show you here real quick some of my most popular videos, meaning the ones that have had the most views. You never really know when you make a video which one is going to get a lot of views or very little views. I'm not able to figure that out so far. So anyway, those are the ones who have had the most views so far. So there's my video, where does Jehovah's Witnesses organization really come from? This video has been viewed quite a bit. Jehovah's Witnesses and money, where I discuss the distorted view that Jehovah's Witnesses have on money because of the teaching of the Watchtower. Why are there so many illnesses among Jehovah's Witnesses? Where I discuss this fact, there are quite a few illnesses in this group of people, and I discuss a few reasons why I believe there are so many illnesses among Jehovah's Witnesses. We know how Jehovah's Witnesses like to say they are no part of the world, and I titled this video 3 Overwhelming Proofs that the Watchtower is part of this world. And this video has had quite a few views as well. In this video, I discuss why Jehovah's Witnesses are not as happy as they claim to be. This video has been quite popular as well because many people understand that they are not as happy as they claim to be. Is Jehovah's Witnesses organization a cult? In this video, I give 10 reasons why we can absolutely confirm that Jehovah's Witnesses organization is a cult. A letter from an awake Jehovah's Witness. This is a video I made after I received the most moving letter from an actual Jehovah's Witness whose wife is not awake and he feels very stuck in this awful cult. And I asked him permission to make a video about his letter, and that's what this video is about. This is one of my latest videos, how Jehovah's Witnesses are captives of a concept, where I used the words of Don Cameron, which actually was originally the words of Ray France. And I explained how, with my own words, how Jehovah's Witnesses are captive of a concept. Everything you need to know about the Watchtower subliminal images. Here I'm talking obviously about the subliminal images that the Watchtower is using, and I'm using some specific images on recent Watchtower to make the viewer understand that they are still using subliminal images. One of my latest videos, the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses says they are not inspired by God, which is taken from the February 2017 study edition. And I made sure I made this video both in English and in French. And this is actually my last videos, both in French and English, the same one again, and already a lot of views on both sides. And this is Jeffrey Jackson, governing body, member of Jehovah's Witnesses, big lie that refers to one of the lies that he said in court in Australia. This lie being when he said that he didn't think that Jehovah as people, the faithful slave was the only spokespeople on earth, only Jehovah's spokespeople on earth. And my last most viewed video this year is the story of Priscilla, an ex-Jehovah's Witness, and I made the English subtitles for you guys. Because if you want to have an idea of what's going on in some of the congregations of Jehovah's Witnesses around the world, you need to watch this story. So far, from the comments that I've got, people have really enjoyed this video. If we could use the word enjoy, because you need to know what's going on in this organization. Now, why do I make videos? Since so many of you are asking me, why do you make videos? Well, the main reason why I'm making videos and the reason why I started to make videos, it's because of shunning. My brother has shunned me to an extent that would go above and beyond, I would say, what the average Jehovah's Witness would shun their family members. The reason why I'm saying this is because my brother has not told me when my mother died. I learned of my mother's death 4 months later, and not from my brother, from the lawyer who took care of the paperwork of my mother. But to this day, 3 years later, my brother has still not told me that my mother died. However, in May 2015, I came back from the United States to France, the United States where I was living for over 20 years, and I was missing France. I was missing Europe. So I wanted to, since my job, I can do it anywhere. All I need is my laptop, basically. I decided to move back to France for a while. So in October of 2015, I decided to go see my brother. Unfortunately, you can only imagine that if he didn't tell me when my mother died, he sure didn't tell me that he have moved away. And when I went, found myself to his door, the last address I knew he was living at, well, he had moved away and I had no idea where he was. So I was very, very disappointed and very sad all over again. And a few months later, in January of 2016, so just a little bit over a year ago, I decided to write a letter to an elder that I know very well because he's a friend of my family. So I wanted to send that letter to this elder for two reasons. For one thing, I wanted to ask him, if he could tell me where my brother was, or if he could at least tell him to contact me. And second, I wanted to tell him because I suspected that he didn't know that. I wanted to tell this elder that, hey, by the way, in case you didn't know, I was not aware when my mom died. And when you all went to her funeral, well, I could not be there because I didn't even know she was dead. And sure enough, my intuition was right, like it is often. Because, yes, indeed, it did not know that I was not even aware when my mom died. So, and I think it's because that shocked him so bad that he decided to call me. So, a few days after I sent my letter to him, maybe a week and a half later, I received a phone call from this elder. And he's telling me how sorry he felt, him and his wife, to learn that I didn't even know that my mother had died. Even he, a Jehovah's Witness still, thought that my brother was really pushing it hard this time. So anyhow, another thing he said that made me again, all over again, sad and depressed is that, well, he had just called my brother before he called me, asking him to call me. But he said, you know what, your brother said he did not want to call you, doesn't want to have anything to do with you. So I was very shocked, very, very shocked, sad, and depressed, very my moral was really, really down. So I told this elder, I took the opportunity to tell him this. I said, you know what? Your shunning thing that you do, that shunning that you call a loving act, it is not loving at all. It's the opposite. As far as I'm concerned, the more my brother is shunning me, the more I want to run the other way. And as a matter of fact, if you are one of Jehovah's Witnesses and you do believe what you hear from your leaders, from the elders with their talks, from the watchtowers, when they tell you that shunning is attracting people who have left back in the religion, they're going to be kidding. Because what shunning does is the other way around. It makes you more angry, more disappointed, and it does not want to make you go back at all. Because I can tell you this, and I cannot talk for everyone, but as far as I'm concerned, even before I found out what this religion was really all about, even when I still believe that there may be an Armageddon, I was not going to come back to this religion mainly because I was shunned. And I couldn't help but thinking, okay, right now my brother ignores me. He treats me as if I were dead. And as far as I'm concerned, he really hates me right now. Now I'm going to go back in this religion and all of a sudden, just like that, as soon as I'm reinstated, he's going to hug me and kiss me and love me all over again. But what those stupid idiots of Watchtower leaders don't even think of, because I think they don't even understand how the human being mind works. You know, they don't understand that you're not an object once you left this religion. You still have a brain and you're still a person. So they don't understand that you're thinking, hey, you know, you're loving me again, but just because I came back in this group of people. But I'm the same person. If I had stayed outside being the same person, you would still hate me. But just because I'm back, now you love me. And you see, even before I discovered all the crap that I discovered about this religion, that really bothered me. That bothered me to no end, because I knew that from that day on, I could never see my brother the same again. Because I would always remember that, you know, at some point in my life, he let me down completely. And that the only reason he's loving me now, again, it's because I'm back in his religion. And that is called conditional love. Who cares about this? Who wants conditional love? It's like this woman or this man that is marrying someone just because of their money. They know that this person is marrying them just because of their money. That's not love, right? We all know that this type of marriage exists, but we all know that it's not love. It's the condition is that that person has money, so they can afford to marry someone 20, 30 years or more younger than them. But that's not love, that's conditional love. Well, Jehovah's Witnesses do the same thing. It's not for the same reason, but it's the same thing. The same example could be taken to express, to illustrate what Jehovah's Witnesses do. They love you as long as you are a Jehovah's Witness, but that's not true love. Just like this woman or this man was marrying someone because they have money. They're marrying that person because they have money, but that's not true love, because without the money, they would not be marrying them. Well, us, you know, without being in this religion, our family is turning their back on us. If we are going back to the religion, then they love us all over again. So that is why I started making my first video. I was very depressed, very sad of my sorry situation, having only one brother, and that brother, unfortunately for me, being still a Jehovah's Witness and ignoring me. And I was very close to my brother. We are only 3 years apart, so we really grew up together. We were kids at the same time. We were teenagers at the same time. And we became adults at about the same time. And we were very close. Our father died in a car accident when we were very little. My mother raised us on her own. She never remarried. So I guess because of that, we were very, very close. We were both very close to our mothers and very close to each other. And we really, really loved each other. I mean, I would have done anything for my brother. He would have done anything for me as well. So that's another thing you need to know. Whether you are or never been a Jehovah's Witness, is that this religion, this so-called religion, but because it's a cult, is really transforming people's mind. The person who is under the influence of a cult, under the influence of indoctrination, is really not themselves anymore. Because I can't recognize my brother anymore. That's for sure. So, because I felt so down, a year ago, I decided to go online and I decided to look for someone, at least one person, who was living what I was living. Because, for 10 years, I had made friends in the world, as Jehovah's Witnesses call it. And people who have never been Jehovah's Witnesses, never been in any cult, when you tell them, my brother is shunning me because of religion, they cannot even understand it. As a matter of fact, I have some friends, when I told them that my brother didn't talk to me because of religion, they said, no, it must be something else. Because you see, when people have no clue about what's going on in those cults, they can't understand it because it's so above and beyond the normal person, let's say, understanding, that they can't understand it. They don't get it. So when you tell them that your brother is shunning you because of a religion, they say, no, you must make a mistake. It's gotta be some other reason more serious. But we, ex-Jehovah's Witness, we know that it's not. We know that it's the reason. So what do you do when you are an ex-JW and want to find someone who maybe is living the same situation you're living? Well, you go online and you type ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. And man, oh man, did I find some stories of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. And right away it made me feel better because, finally I could find this small group of people that were, or that was as a group, living what I was living. And it made me feel much better. As a matter of fact, even though for 10 years I had lived my life, I had moved on, because I found so many things about this ex-cult of mine, for 10 days straight, all I did, all my waking hours, all I did is watch videos and read articles and watch documentaries about Jehovah's Witnesses. For close to 2 weeks, that's what I did. That's all I did. That's how bad it is for us ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. Even after 10 years, you are plunged again in this cult of yours that took so many years of your life. And you finally found out people that live the same story you're living. Plus, I found more than I bargained for, because I found all the stuff that I had even no idea about, and started making my own videos about as well. So that is why I'm making videos, because of shunning. I was so still depressed and sad and disappointed of being shunned by my brother. Wanted to know if someone, felt the way I did. And it didn't make me happy that they felt miserable too. It just, what made me feel better is to know that I was not alone. So that is my story. That's why I made videos. So why am I still making videos? Well, because as long as this organization is going to hold my brother hostage, I'm going to make videos against them. Because people need to hear what this organization does to people, whether they are in the organization, whether they have been in the organization, whether they've never been in that organization. The world needs to know what this organization of Jehovah's Witnesses does to people. So that's it for today. Thank you for being here on my number 63 video, the video of my 1-year anniversary of this channel, Living Now. And I hope you subscribe. If you have not subscribed yet, like the video, share it, comment as usual. And here is for another year of Living Now. Thank you for listening. Bye bye now.